word privilege, I think about how a lot of people, there's this sort of gut reaction when they hear this word, like an emotional response of maybe some defensiveness or some like misunderstanding about what the word actually means. But what I have come to learn is that most of us can experience both privilege and oppression, even sometimes at the same time, depending on our different intersecting identities in the context of the situation. So using myself as an example, I'm a woman, so in a patriarchal society, like I have experienced oppression in that way, either people sort of pigeonholing me for interests or treating me differently because I'm a woman, feeling like I have to prove myself in certain spaces to be taken seriously. But at the same time, I'm also a white woman, right? So the way that my womanness is expressed and the way that it's received as I move throughout the world is really different than if I was a woman of color. And our experiences are really different. And so I've been learning more and more about that, really a lot from interacting with a lot of women in the movement, women of color, particularly Black women in the movement, about things that I thought were universal to womanhood that are maybe like different based on racial differences. And I think that's probably true also when we look and break down sexual orientation and ability and all of these other markers of our identity. And so privilege to me, thinking about ways that I've experienced privilege, is that nobody, as a white woman, if I get angry, the patriarchy might think of me as like crazy, right, or emotional. But as a white woman, my anger is not really internalized by other people as being aggressive or dangerous, the way that sometimes people tend, in a white supremacist culture, tend to stereotype women of color. So even just like with that one example of my womanhood, I have areas that I'm oppressed, but I also have certain privileges because of other parts of my identity.